it said that what you call man, we call time. The mushroom, once I said to her, I almost said, once I said to her, I said, what should I call you? And she said, call me Dorothy.
It's just a public service announcement.
It is with the utmost pride and sincerity that I present this recording as a living testament and recollection of history in the making during our generation.
So how it began was, it said to me, have you noticed that every day is like every other day? Somewhat. I said, yes, I've noticed that. And have you noticed that every week is more or less like every other week? Yes. Well, did you know that, and this is a typical mushroom construction, this, did you know? I'll bet you did know, and then the whammy. So did you know, I'll bet you did know, that every day has a relationship to 4 other days. And they are not the 4 days preceding it. They are scattered back through time. One of them may be 6 months in the past. One of them may be thousands of years in the past. But each day is actually an interference pattern caused by the resonant, the coming together of the resonances of other times. And so it never occurred to me, I mean, it's a weird idea, it never occurred to me that that was a possibility. And so then it said, go get your I Ching. And I went and got my I Ching, and it said, we're going to look at the first order of difference.
What you most want to find will be found where you least want to look. There's this old story that's from King Arthur, and King Arthur has these knights, right? They all sit around a round table, which means they're roughly equal. That's what the round table means. And they're off to find the Holy Grail, and the Holy Grail is the most valuable object. That's what it means. So they're off to find the most valuable thing, but they don't know what it is, and they don't know where it is. But they know that there's a most valuable thing, so in some sense it's akin to them orienting themselves by the star. And they don't know where to look, and so what they decide is, they have the castle, and it's the middle of a forest, and so each knight decides to start looking for the Holy Grail by entering the forest at the point that looks darkest to him. And so what's the idea there?
If I ventured in the slipstream between the viaducts of your dream,
we were born before the wind,
where mobile steel rims crack,
also
and the dents in the back roads stop. Could you?
Yeah, the bonnie boat was one as we sail into the
would
misty.
you kiss my eyes? Lay me
Oh, I
down.
can now hear the sailors cry.
Silence easy.
Smell the sea and feel the sky.
To be born again.
Let your soul and spirit fly into the misty.
From the far side of the ocean, if I put the wheels in motion,
And where that foghorn blows,
then I stand with my arms behind
I will
me.
be coming home.
I'm pushing out the door.
Yeah, when the
Would you
foghorn
back?
blows, I wanna hear it.
Would you kiss my
I don't have to fear that
Lay me down.
I rock your gypsy soul.
Silence easy. To be
Just like way back in the days of old.
to be born again.
How magnificently we will fold into the misty.
There you go, there you go. Standing aside, darling.
country boy with that fork and seeing that he's got clean clothes, you know I will be coming home. Putting on his little red shoe. Seeing that when that foghorn whistle blows, I gotta hear it. I don't have to feel it. And just like we're back in the days of old. And together we will go into the mystic. Look at straight at you. Come on, girl. Coming through, darling. In the back road stop, could you find me? Would you kiss my eyes and lay me down in silence, easy to be born again, to be born again. To be born again, to be born again. In another world, darling. In another world, in another time. Got a home on high. Ain't nothing but a stranger in this world. I'm nothing but a stranger in this world. Got a home on high. I got a home on high. Ain't nothing but a stranger in this world. In another land. I'm nothing but a stranger in this world. So far away. I got a home on high. So far. In another land, so far away. We are gonna have so far away. We are gonna have we are gonna have in another time, in another place, in another time, in another place, in another time, in another place. Another time, and another place, another place, another place, and another face.
if my words did glow with the gold of sunshine, and my tunes were played on the harp unstrung, would you hear my voice come through the music? Would you hold it near as it were your own? It's a hand-me-down. The thoughts are broken. Perhaps they're better left unsung. I don't know. Don't really care. Let there be songs to fill the air. Ripple in still water when there is no pebble tossed, nor wind to blow. Reach out your hand. If your cup be empty, if your cup is full, may it be again, let it be known. There is a fountain that was not made by the hands of men. There is a road, no simple highway between the dawn and the dark of night. And if you go, no one may follow. That path is for your steps alone. Ripple in still water when there is no pebble tossed, no wind to blow. You choose to lead, must follow. But if you fall alone. If you should stand, then who's to guide you? If I knew the way, I would take you home. La da da da, la da da da, la da da, la da, la da da da, la da da da, la da da da, la da da.
Talk. Time passes. You learn right from wrong. Time passes. You leave home singing a life of your own, telling you the natural facts for what it's worth. Listen to me, people, making all heaven and hell right here on earth. Let me tell you, I'm telling you the natural facts for what it's worth. You make your own heaven and hell right here on earth, on earth, on earth, on earth. And your values change. Life becomes a strange, confusing game. Suddenly you want the finer things in life, but you find it takes lots of hard work and sacrifice. Now you're standing at the crossroads of life to satisfy your personal wants. Well, you do wrong or will you do right?
One thing you must admit, and you know it's true.
The final decision is still up to you. I'm telling you to let your facts for what it's worth. Listen to me, people. You make your own heaven and hell right here on earth. Let me tell you one more time. Let your facts for what it's worth. You make your own heaven and hell right here on earth. Listen, people. Life is a giant invisible scale with two sides, good and bad.
You and your beliefs are the weights.
The things you do each day determine the balance.
Your conscience is a flawless judge and jury, and only question you when you're wrong. Telling you to not your facts for what it's worth. Listen to me, people. You make your own heaven and hell right here on earth. One more time like this. Telling you to let your facts for what it's worth. You make your own heaven and hell right here on earth. Listen to me.
Chicka chicka boom, chicka boom boom boom. 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 Chicka chicka boom.
Riders on the storm. Riders on the storm. Riders on the storm. Riders on the storm. Into this house we're born. Into this world we're thrown. Riders on the storm. 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 Into this house we're born. Into this world we're thrown. Riders on the storm.
So all of that's lurking underneath this, in this imagery of the whale. Now, the whale, you can think of the story of Jonah. What happens with Jonah is that, roughly speaking, he's a prophet, and God tells him that he has to go to this city and straighten it out because it's veered off the path and it's heading towards doom. And Jonah thinks, I'm not going to that city to tell those people anything like that because they're not going to be very happy with me just showing up there and telling them, you know, everything they're doing wrong. And so he hops on a boat and tries to get out of there. And then God conjures up this huge storm and the boat is about to be swamped. And Jonah admits that it's actually his fault because God's upset with him because he got this direct command to go straighten out the city and he ran off. And so they're not happy about this, but they throw Jonah overboard and the sea's calm. A great fish comes up, a whale, and swallows him. And then he's down in the fish for 3 days and it throws him up on the dry land, and then he's learned his lesson by that time and he goes off to pursue his proper destiny. So that's echoed in this story as well. So I can give you another example. If you don't follow the pathway that you're supposed to follow, the seas will become stormy for you and something will come up and pull you down and you'll be in a terrible place for some length of time till you learn your lesson. And if you're lucky, you'll get spit back up on shore and then you can go do what you should do. Well, I mean, that's not a lesson that anybody needs to have interpreted. I think everybody understands that. And imagine that you're afraid. Anyways, the cricket tells Pinocchio what he has to do. And then something kind of paradoxical happens. Pinocchio decides he's going to go do this. And then the cricket has got this weird paradoxical response to that. On the one hand, he's sort of pulling Pinocchio back, saying, look, you know, this is foolhardy. You're going to go all the way down to the ocean, you're going to confront this terrible whale, this is really, really dangerous. But at the same time, when Pinocchio's on the edge of the cliff, the cricket helps him tie his tail around a rock, and he holds his finger in place so that Pinocchio can tie the knot. It's like the conscience is conflicted about this. It's really dangerous and foolhardy, but it's also necessary. And so he plays this dual role. But Pinocchio is leading at this point, so into the ocean he goes. I guess partly what this means is that if you're not oriented properly in the world, you should take your doubts and the chaos that you're enveloped in seriously. You should face it and think it through. You should go into it as far as you can go into it, because maybe you'll find something at the bottom of it. I mean, the alternative is to pretend that it doesn't exist.
Well, it's all right, riding around in the breeze. Well, it's all right, if you live the life you please. Well, it's all right, doing the best you can. Well, it's all right, as long as you lend a hand.
You can sit around and wait for the phone to ring, waiting for someone to tell you everything. Sit around and wonder what tomorrow will bring. Maybe a diamond ring.
Well, it's alright, even if they say you're wrong. Well, it's alright, sometimes you gotta be strong. Well, it's alright, as long as you got somewhere to lay. Well, it's alright, every day is Judgment Day.
Maybe somewhere down the road away,
The end of the line.
you'll think of me and wonder where I am these days.
At the end of the line,
Maybe somewhere down the road when somebody plays
At the end of the line.
Purple Haze.
Well, it's alright, even when push comes to shove. Well, it's alright, if you got someone to love. Well, it's alright, everything will work out fine. Well, it's alright, we're going to the end of the line.
Don't have to be ashamed of the car I drive. I'm just glad to be here, happy to feel that. don't matter if you're by my side. I'm satisfied.
Well, it's alright, even if you're old and gray. Well, it's alright, you still got something to say. Well, it's alright, remember to live and let live. Well, it's alright, the best you can do is forgive. Well, it's alright, riding around on the breeze. Well, it's alright, if you live the life you please. Well, it's alright, even if the sun don't shine. Well, it's alright, we're going to the end of the line. I've got to run to keep from high, and I'm bound to keep on riding. I've got one more silver dollar, but I'm not gonna let 'em catch me, no. Not gonna let 'em catch the midnight rider. I don't own the clothes I'm wearing, and the road goes on forever. And I've got one more silver dollar, but I'm not gonna let 'em catch me, no. Not gonna let 'em catch the midnight rider. I'm going past the point of caring, so go bed, I'll soon be sharing. And I've got one more silver dollar, but I'm not gonna let 'em catch me, no. Not gonna let 'em catch the midnight rider. No, I'm not gonna let 'em catch me, no. Not gonna let 'em catch the midnight rider. No, I'm not gonna let 'em catch me, no. Not gonna let 'em catch the midnight rider. No, I'm not gonna let 'em catch me, no. Not gonna let 'em catch the midnight rider.
When you can't find the light that guides you through a cloudy day, when the stars ain't shining bright, you feel like you've lost your way. When the candle light of home burns so very far away, now you gotta let your soul shine, just like my daddy used to say. He used to say, make it on my own. Life can take the strongest man, make him feel so alone. Now sometimes I feel a cold wind blowing through my aching bones. I think back to what my daddy said. He said, boy, in this darkness before the dawn, let your soul shine. It's better than sunshine. It's better than moonshine. Damn sure better than rain. Yeah, now people don't mind. I feel this way sometimes. You got to let your soul shine. Shine till the break of day. Sometimes a man can feel this emptiness. A woman too, Lord knows she can feel like this. And when your world seems cold, you got to let your spirit take control. Talking about sunshine, it's better than sunshine. It's better than moonshine. Damn sure better than rain. Yeah, now people don't mind. All feel this way sometimes. Got to let your soul shine, shine till the break of day. It's better than sunshine. It's better than moonshine. It's damn sure better than rain. Yeah, now people don't mind. We all feel this way sometimes. You got to let your soul shine, shine till the break of day.
what you want to find is to be found where you least want to find it. And that idea is echoed in the prominent stories of dragons and gold. It's exactly the same idea. The dragon is this terrible thing. It's this terrible predatory thing that lives forever and is very, very wise. And it lives underground, and it'll kill you. It'll burn you up in a second. But it hoards gold. And so you have to go there into the dragon's lair if you're going to get the gold. And that's a representation of people's paradoxical relationship with reality. It's like you have to go out there and confront it in order to incorporate what it has to offer to you. But the probability that that's going to be intensely dangerous and push you right to the limit, first of all, those are actually the same thing. If it didn't push you to the limit, you wouldn't gain anything valuable from it. So you don't get one without the other. You don't get the gold without the dragon. That's a very strange, very, very strange idea.
Lord only knows this heart is free. A brand new day is at my feet. Now sing it low, low and sweet. I give it more soul, I give it all to me. It all feels like gold, gold to me. Might not be a diamond, but it shines for me. It all feels like gold, gold to me. And it ain't lost in silence, it's all good to me. Sing it, yeah, 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 yeah. Simple things that light me up. What a beautiful world, and I see the love in everything, and everyone. When I'm digging so deep, all the time will come. It all feels like gold, gold to me. It might not be a diamond, but it shines for me. It all feels like gold, gold to me. It ain't lost in silence, it's all good to me. Sing it. Sky, but the angels keep falling, and it's all good to me. It's all good to me. It all feels like gold, gold to me. It might not be a diamond, but it shines for me. It all feels like gold, gold to me. Well, it ain't lost in silence, it's all good to me. Sing it, yeah, 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 oh, yeah, yeah. All feels like gold, oh, gold to me. And lost inside it, it's all good to me. All feels like all good to me, all good to me, so good to me.
What is so wonderful about the psychedelics is how democratic they are. One of the funny insights that I had that I don't try to make sense of, that I in fact don't believe, but I thought it and it it was an emotionally opening thought, though it's absurd on the face of it, was when I was in the Amazon, in these pastures, looking at these pastures full of these mushrooms, I kept thinking, it's the lost part of the human brain. It's that part of us is in these fields. Well, the mushroom said to me once, it said, this is what it's like when a species prepares to depart for the stars. This is not unusual. I mean, the earth quakes, the oceans boil, the planet came into existence for this. All life for over 1 billion years has been pointed toward taking this step. Leaving the oceans for the land was dress rehearsal for what will now be done. Nature loves courage. He said this to me, nature loves courage. And I thought for a moment and I said, how does nature respond to courage? And the answer came back immediately, by removing obstacles. That's how nature treats the courageous, by opening doorways, by moving you along. It's the old fools rush in where angels fear to tread sort of idea. So did you know, I'll bet you did know, that every day has a relationship to 4 other days. And they are not the 4 days preceding it. They are scattered back through time. One of them may be 6 months in the past. One of them may be thousands of years in the past. But each day is actually an interference pattern caused by the resonant, the coming together of the resonances of other times.